Hey there, it's Dr Margriet here. It has been a while since we connected, and I just thought I would pop on here and talk about what the heck is adrenal fatigue. So, adrenal fatigue is the best kept secret in Western medicine because it is the the, under, the understanding, the construct, if you like, that explains so many symptoms that so many of us suffer from. Things like tiredness, can't sleep, gut health issues, rubbishy menopause, feeling depressed, feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, irritable. All these kind of symptoms have the same underlying cause, and that is why it is a best kept secret. So before we go into that anymore, just to say that why you should listen to the rest of this video, that is that first of all, once you understand what adrenal fatigue is, it allows you to understand that this exhaustion and this sort of feeling, this running on empty feeling that you have so much of the time, is actually very real. It is not a figment of your imagination. It is not you not trying hard enough or being lazy in some way or just being a lightweight in any way. This feeling of exhaustion, tired all the time, running on empty, is incredibly real, and it is part of your physiology to do with your adrenal gland functionality. So that's the first thing I want to say. The second reason why I want you to listen to this video is because once you join the dots on the long list of symptoms that adrenal fatigue can cause, you start to understand something incredibly powerful, which is that they are all linked. They are all the same thing. And in our health system, we think, oh, I've got IBS over here, so I'll take medication and do stuff for that. I've got, rubbishy sleep over here. I'll take medication and do things for that. I've got a horrible menopause. I'll take HRT and do all sorts of supplements and things for that. And we think all these things are all different things. But often, in my experience, in my clinical work, they are not. They are often the same root cause. And this is part of, this root cause approach to health and medicine is part of what functional medicine is all about. And it's partly why I love it so much, but especially when we look at something called adrenal fatigue. So the last reason why you need to watch the rest of this video is that it's actually really easy to start sorting your adrenal fatigue out. More on that later. So let's go into this then. So first of all, what the heck is adrenal fatigue? So let me just say that adrenal fatigue is not officially recognised by the Western medical establishment and not officially recognised by the NHS here in the UK. And the reason for that is that they claim that there isn't enough scientific evidence to support this as a diagnosis. And they talk about it more in the terms of, it's perhaps a cluster of symptoms. But they don't tell you about this, they don't talk about it, and they are not happy to make the diagnosis. So, which I think, in my humble opinion, is doing a lot of patients a big disservice. The second thing is that, what are your adrenals anyway? So your adrenal glands are glands the size of your thumbnail. You've got two of them parked on top of your kidneys. And these adrenal glands do several hugely important jobs in your body. Now they're tiny, but they're mighty. Okay, they are what we call the king of your hormone system. So they trump what your thyroid does. They trump what your estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone balance is. They are like the top of your hormone cascade, if you like. So if your adrenals are struggling, bottom dollar is your thyroid will be struggling, and so will your estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone balancing. So here's the thing. Your adrenals make something really important called DHEA. And that substance, DHEA, is the kind of raw ingredient, if you like, to go and make two primary things. Your DHEA can either go down one pathway where it makes cortisol, which is your chronic stress hormone, or it can go down the other pathway. Swap my hands there on my phone. It can go down the other pathway where it goes to make male hormones, which then get converted into female hormones. In other words, your testosterone and your estrogen, progesterone. Okay, so it's like this DHEA is like this central thing, and it has to go one way or the other. Now, the truth is that when your body is under any kind of chronic stress experience, so hello, 21st century living, okay? When your body's under any kind of chronic stress hormone experience, your adrenals will take that DHEA and will always move it down the cortisol pathway. So guess what happens to your testosterone and your estrogen? It's like, well, you can go and just take a chill pill because we're trying to do the work of survival here. Like the stress response is about your body's survival and will always trump the fine-tuning balancing of testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. So that DHEA that your adrenals produce is massively, massively important. And when we're in chronic stress patterning, meaning we're always pumping out cortisol, that DHEA is going down the cortisol, down the cortisol, down the cortisol, down the cortisol. So that cortisol level, we get into a state of what we call hypercortisolism. So raised levels of cortisol, and your adrenal glands are working hard to pump this stuff out, yeah, because it's your body responding to what it thinks is a chronic stress state. Now that stress might be real, or it might not be, because your stress response will respond the same way, whether the stress is real or imagined. So if you're a worrier, or you're somebody, you know, who has a lot of stress and pressure, these things are just as important as if there is a stress that is, say, for example, from, you know, poor nutritional intake or huge demands on your health or your well-being. So that's what your adrenals do. They basically make this DHEA. Now that is a slightly simplified explanation because our body is complicated, but for reasons of just making this point, I just want to keep it, you know, simple. So that is what your adrenals do. Now, when we go into chronic stress patterning, we end up stuck down this cortisol pathway, and it is this hypercortisolism that is responsible for a whole raft of symptoms, okay? So listen to this little lot, and this is just me trotting them off the top of my head, okay? But this is what I see with my patients all the time. They are tired all the time, even if they've had a good night's sleep. They struggle with low energy levels and feelings and low mood and feeling anxious and frustrated and irritable. They often have brain fog. They struggle with food cravings that just doesn't matter how much willpower they have. They're just like the food cravings win every time, be it sugar or salt. Yeah, if you're a cheese monster, a crisp monster, or a cake monster, or a biscuit monster, whatever you are, often it's your adrenals, your adrenal fatigue patterning that is causing this. It is things like brain fog. It's an immune system that just can't stand up straight. So if you're getting cold after cold after cold, this could be your adrenals. Okay, so what about that cortisol belly? You know, that belly that we often get and we think, oh, it's my menopause. Often it's not your menopause. It's actually your adrenals. Sort out your adrenals and so many of these things get so much better. So I just wanted to come on here live today and just really shine the spotlight on this really, really important health issue, especially for women. So often, especially by the time we get to midlife, we think, oh, it's my menopause or it's my age. Well, I'm here to tell you that in my clinical experience, 9 times out of 10, it isn't anything to do with that. It's actually to do with your adrenals and your chronic stress patterning. So I will leave you. So what I would like you to do, if you have listened all the way to the end of this video, I would love you to pop a like or a love. Just click the little heart or click the little thumbs up button, and I want you to share this post. Let's get this message out there because more and more women need to hear this, in my opinion. And even though at the moment the NHS and Western medical establishment say that this is not an official diagnosis, I know many of my functional medicine colleagues and naturopaths, they all use this work, this understanding in their work, and the results we get as a result of addressing this directly are fabulous. You know, this is the way people recover their health, they recover their energy levels, have a lovely, healthy, natural menopause, exactly by looking at this work. So, can't say that enough. Hi Claire, so lovely to see you here. So, happy Friday afternoon, and let's get this message out there. So much love. Bye.